Hello my dear students, today we are going to revise or we are going to learn a very important chapter in our English language. It is called tenses. Now you in class 6 as well you have studied about tenses and exactly why and how we use this aspect of English grammar. You are right, we use this aspect or the word tenses or the chapter tenses to talk about the different time that we do something. Alright, it expresses an action which is done at some point of the day. Tenses talks about today, tomorrow, or even and yesterday. Alright, so how can we talk about tenses? Now I have drawn something. Hopefully it will help you to understand. So if you see this timeline over here that I have drawn for you, it starts from 12 a.m. and it finishes at 11:59 p.m. Why 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m.? Because it represents one whole day. So 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. it talks about one whole day. And right now if we say that the time is 5 p.m. Alright, what is the time right now? It is 5 p.m. So as you can see, just concentrate over here. Between 12 a.m. to 5 p.m. a lot of time has passed by. Alright, a lot of time has already gone. So what do we call it? We call it the time that has already gone, the past time. At present, what is the time? It is 5 p.m. Alright, the time at the moment is 5 p.m. which means this is the present time. And between 5 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. what time is that? That is the future time, which means it is yet to come. It is still not here. You have not spent that time. Which time? What time have you spent? The one between 12 a.m. to 5 p.m. So between 12 a.m. to 5 p.m. we call it the past time. 5 p.m. is our present time, and between 5 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. it is our future time. So how can we talk about, say if I give you 3 sentences. Alright, if I give you 3 sentences like, I write this letter to please you. I wrote the letter in your presence. Or I shall write another letter tomorrow. Now you see the verb that is used in all the 3 sentences is something to do with the verb write. Why are we stressing on this word? Why are we stressing on verb? We are stressing on the verb in particular because we cannot denote tenses in any other way rather than the correct usage of the verb. Verbs are action words. Alright, it states an action that is already done. So writing is an action, isn't it? When we write with a pen or a pencil, it is an action. So it helps us to state what kind of action is going on. So we can say that a verb and a tense are friends. If your verb form is not correct, then your entire tense or your entire tense that you mean to apply in the sentence will also be wrong. So we have to be very, very careful when we are using verbs to denote tenses. Alright, is it clear till here? So verbs play a very important part while we denote tenses in a sentence. Like the first sentence, I'm going back to it. I write this letter to please you. So the verb is write in the sentence and it is the root word, which means that write is in present tense. Yes. So the first sentence denotes that the letter was written in present time, present tense. Then the next sentence, the second sentence that I told you was I wrote this letter in your presence. See how the verb changed into a past time. So write became wrote. And what does this verb signify? It signifies that the letter was written somewhere in the past time. So say the first sentence was written at 5 o'clock. I write this letter. And as soon as I say the second sentence, I wrote this letter, which means this letter was written somewhere between 12 a.m. to 5 p.m. Say, how about we say that it was written at 10 o'clock in the morning. So 10 a.m., which means that the action of writing a letter is already complete. So we have written the letter at 10 a.m. Alright, now when I say the third sentence, I shall write, I will write the letter, what happens? We immediately point out to the future time, that is between 5 to 11:59 p.m. Somewhere between that time, you are going to sit down and write a letter to your cousin. I will write a letter at 8 o'clock in the evening to my cousin. Alright, so you see how the verb changes according to the time that you want to denote. So these are the three very important tenses, because based on these three tenses, present tense, past tense and future tense, there are various other tenses that we need to study, that we will learn, and it helps us to denote time. Now let us see what simple tense talks about. Simple present tense talks about. It talks about a habitual action, something that you do every day. You come to school every day at 7:30 a.m. Every single day. It is a behavior aptitude. It is out of habit that you have to be in school by 7:45. It is also used to express general truths like the sun rises from the east. Every single day, the sun, it rises from the east, isn't it? It never changes. The sun does not change its direction. So these are facts, these are truths. So to use this in exclamatory sentences, oh, here he goes. All right. Again, so when we use in this kind of exclamatory kind of sentences, sentences that end in exclamation mark, we use present tense. So to say something that happens out of habit, which are general truths or facts, and exclamatory sentences, this is where we use simple present tense. And how do we use simple past tense? Again, I think it is very easy. We use simple past tense to talk about actions that have already happened in the past time. Remember the slot that I have given you between 12 a.m. to 5 p.m.? That is the slot that I am talking about. Now, if you could take down few sentences. The earth dash round the sun. Your options are move, moves, moved. Moves, move and moved. Second, my friends dash the Prime Minister yesterday. Your options are see, have seen, saw. Number 3, I dash him only one letter up to now. Your options are sent, have sent or send. Now, if you do these kind of exercise, I am referring to Wren and Martin. If you have the book, there are some really helpful exercises. You can practice it at home, and when we meet again, I can help you to understand this better. And if there is any confusion, I am glad to help you. Thank you.